Okay, one of the videos that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and it's still work in progress, but people are wondering about my background, my history, what school I trained at. I know I get a lot of questions on the uniforms that I'm wearing and stuff of that nature. Um, the school that I trained at was Chung Oh's school, and that is in Kitchener, Ontario, Canada. So Chung Oh's school is the first school, the first Taekwondo school in Canada, I believe. It was certainly the first in Ontario. I'm pretty sure that it was the first in all of Canada. There was a period of time where the ITF headquarters was actually in Toronto, so that's an hour's drive from where I live, and where Chung Oh's school, the main Kitchener location, the head office location, is. That is the school that I trained at from white belt on up until 2011. And then when I wanted to have my own school, they weren't too happy about that. So I can get into that in another video, of course, but they have a number of branch schools, so a number of students who became instructors and then opened up their own school, whether it's in Guelph, whether it's in Cambridge, a number of different places all around southern Ontario. They have a number of schools. They're very well known in my area. So if you're wondering about my instructor's credentials, and people ask me, you know, like you have stylistic differences and things of that nature. Okay, let's set the record straight on this once and for all. My instructor, Chung Oh, was a 9th degree black belt in Taekwondo, and I'm not sure what his rank is in Hapki-Do, but he is trained in both Taekwondo and Hapkido, and he was a grandmaster in Taekwondo. He is one of General Choi's original students. So the founder of Taekwondo taught my instructor personally. They knew each other personally. He got his black belt from the founder of Taekwondo. He is from Korea originally. He taught Taekwondo to the Korean military, among many other people. He opened up his school in Ontario, I think it was 1973, somewhere around there, the early 1970s. So pretty sure he was the first in Canada, at least with Taekwondo schools. He's certainly the highest ranking in all of Canada, his rank. He passed away a few years ago, so he's no longer alive now. I believe he passed away in 2016. But at the time that he died, he was the highest ranking in all of Canada. The founder of Taekwondo, General Choi, would attend some of our tournaments personally. So he knew my instructor. He came to some of our tournaments. They knew each other. So it's not like he was teaching something that was way out in left field. The founder of Taekwondo knew exactly what he was teaching, and this is why I say you can't always go by a book. Sometimes you have to understand that there are some minor philosophical differences between schools, and you also have to understand that people do change their opinion over time. So maybe something is written in a book a particular way, and then maybe sometime later they change it slightly or it becomes something different. Things do change occasionally over time, and opinions do change, and there are some philosophical differences, especially between master and grandmaster instructors. So these kind of things happen, and you have to remember that he would have been teaching Taekwondo at a time long before the books and videos came out and got published. There are also some patterns that I don't even know if all of the patterns were fully created at the time that he opened his school and were teaching them. So, for instance, at my school, we learned Kodang, one of the patterns, and that's a pattern that is dropped from many modern Taekwondo schools, and they replace it with Juche, another pattern. We never learned Juche, we never touched that pattern at all. We did Kodang. That is the original, and that is the one that we learned. So in many ways, not all of the patterns were necessarily completely formed. Some of them may have evolved slightly over time or changed or been altered. Some of the reasoning behind some of the techniques may have changed over time, but it's important to realize that my instructor was one of General Choi's original students. He got his black belt from him. He came to some of our tournaments. I don't know if I ever met him in person or not, because I think he passed away 2002 or 2004, somewhere around there. I was only just kind of getting started, getting up through the color belt ranks around that time. I'm not sure if I ever remember meeting him, or even if I had met him, I don't know if I would have known who he was or what the significance of that was at that point in time. So I can't say for sure that I even met him. But he did come to some of our tournaments, and he knew my instructor and knew him on a first name basis. He was the highest ranked in Canada, the first in Canada with Taekwondo. He was born in Korea. He often brought students over from Korea to come and train here in Canada and stay here. So we got an opportunity to train with a lot of Korean students while I was there. He is absolutely legit. His skills are as legit as you can possibly get in the Taekwondo field. And when he retired, his son took over and started teaching. He had two sons. One of them, Ian, is the one that taught me for the longest amount of time. And he recently passed away just before the age of 50. He died of, I think, a heart condition or something that he had. So this was very recent. It just happened last year. So absolutely, Taekwondo runs in the family. It's their family business. He's been doing it for a lifetime, or was doing it for a lifetime. And I don't know how well this will show up on the camera, but this was my first Dan black belt photo, and that is at Chung Oh's school. And again, I'm not sure how well this is going to turn out in the video. I don't know if you can see this, but there you can see me. That's the first Dan photo. Everybody who got black belt got a picture, and their picture got put on the wall. So there was a wall of black belts, and you can see the uniform star. You can see the crest on my chest there. That is from 2003. So that was me almost 20 years ago. And again, everybody got their picture taken. The picture got put up on the wall when you became a black belt at the school. So people comment about the uniforms and stuff like that. Because they taught Hap-Ki-Do and Taekwondo, both, we kind of had our choice of, are you going to wear Taekwondo or Hap-Ki-Do uniforms? And they chose to go with the more Hap-Ki-Do style uniform. But you can see, the pullover, or the pull around, wrap around front, it looks pretty much the same as any other Taekwondo uniform. It doesn't start to look different until you get up into the master ranks and you start wearing the diamond uniforms. And even those are optional. You don't have to wear a diamond uniform if you don't want to. So anyway, I hope that clears up some questions. I've got a lot more pictures that I want to show in future videos, so stay tuned.